Tuscaloosa tornado. A special report from WVUA, Alabama's home team.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm Lynn Brooks here live in the WVUA News studios, and I can tell you on behalf of our entire team here at Alabama's home team, we are so happy to be back with you this afternoon. You already know by now all the devastation that Tuscaloosa is dealing with, a very hard-hit community that is struggling right now just to find any answers. We, along with our viewers at home, watch this tornado take shape live on the air. We're going to roll that for you right now.
So we have an emergency situation. This tornado is now on the ground. It looks like it's a now sizable tornado. We're watching live from our Tuscaloosa tower camera. Get in your safe place right now. We have a tornado on the ground. Again, we're watching live from our Tuscaloosa tower camera, looking to the southwest side of Tuscaloosa. There's Bryant-Denny Stadium at the bottom of your screen, and this looks to be a fairly sizable tornado. It keeps flirting with the ground. It lifts back up and then it touches back down, and there's no doubt this thing has made contact with the ground and definitely still is in contact with the ground. We're going to kind of pan around with our Tuscaloosa tower camera. Again, this is coming right towards our television station. Anybody outside, if you see anybody outside, tell them to get inside right now.
The story that you're about to see details basically our experience here at WVUA and also the experience of so many right after the tornado ripped through.
Along with our viewers, we watched a massive tornado take shape live on the air from the WVUA tower camera. This view is from high above the University of Alabama's Reese Pfeiffer Hall. You can see the twister makes an ominous sight. It seems to hover over Bryant-Denny Stadium.
A very large tornado on the ground right now.
Then, in a heartbeat, we were knocked off the air. With my own video camera, I climbed 4 flights and stood at a window facing the stadium. The tornado looked like it was skirting the spiral. You can see the debris flying from the sides. When this came closer, that's when I ducked into a stairwell. Minutes after the storm passed, sirens were screaming on McFarland Boulevard. People emerged from the rubble and started roaming into the streets.
Weird, just bad. Everything got destroyed. Tornadoes and stuff with the tornadoes. It's been bad.
Some bringing the little they have left. Some asking why. And others wanting more than ever just to hold on to someone they love. This man fell to his knees and began to pray. He later told us, had it not been his day off, he would have been working inside this restaurant. Thankful to have his life, he was saying out loud, "Oh Lord, please help us." Others heard his plea and joined the prayer.
I'm really counting my blessings.
Rita Sturdivant is alive because her office closed early.
This was my desk. That's my computer. Right there, that was my file cabinet.
With little direction in sight, at least some are able to focus on the future.
Praise God.
Some tornadoes are unsurvivable, and I believe with all my heart this was one of those unsurvivable tornadoes in some spots. Get in your safe place right now. We have a tornado on the ground.
It's now crossing the field just across from my location.
During the storm, I thought I was going to die because I thought it was my time.
And I've got people trapped. We need a ton of help over here.
Just held on to my hand, and she said, "Please don't let me die."
Well, we got a house that's completely flat, and there's something underneath.
So many times I wanted to contact his family and just say, you know, he wasn't alone.
The real story is not April 27th. It's what's happened since then.
We're all in this together. We've all lost something out of this, and we've all gained something out of this.
And I gained a knowledge that this will be forever a home for me.
You just never really know how much stuff you actually have until you have nothing.
Yes, we may cry, but we know that we will survive.
You're watching Alabama's WVUA News at 6.
Lost your personal information during the tornado? Find out how to protect yourself from becoming a victim of identity theft.
Plus, Governor Bentley is thanking members of the media for help in protecting the public during recent storms, including Alabama's home team. But first, tonight's top story: what impact the disaster in the Midwest could have on relief efforts here in West Alabama. We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm Lynn Brooks.
And I'm Philip Coleman. The scene looks familiar. Homes, businesses, and lives pulled apart by a deadly tornado. But this time it's Joplin, Missouri.
This has some people here in West Alabama wondering, will FEMA pull out its resources from here now that another disaster has struck elsewhere? Well, according to FEMA's Tim Tyson, there will be no impact in West Alabama as far as their services. Parts of Missouri had already been declared a disaster for previous tornado damage. So now officials are just expanding their declaration to include the other two counties, which includes the city of Joplin. Authorities say at least 116 people were killed by the twister Sunday. That includes 4 people inside a hospital when it took a direct hit. According to the Red Cross, about 75% of Joplin is gone.
And back here in West Alabama, the West Alabama chapter of the American Red Cross has worked around the clock, feeding, clothing, and housing survivors of the April 27 tornado. Now, with the latest disaster in Missouri, officials say donations to the local Red Cross and the national office of the American Red Cross are crucial.
From a nationwide effort, the donations are certainly appreciated for the tornadoes in Missouri, as well as in Mississippi and the floods in Louisiana. This is what Red Cross does. We respond first, and then we ask our communities, ask our states, and ask for our nations to respond by making those donations.
And to make a donation to the West Alabama chapter of the American Red Cross, go to our website, that's WVUA-TV.com, and click on numbers and links, or you can call 1-800-RED-CROSS.
Almost everywhere you look around Tuscaloosa, you'll see people working to clean up and remove all the debris. Tuscaloosa Mayor Walt Maddox's office says as of Monday, more than 265,000 cubic yards of debris has been removed all around the city. You might recall the State Emergency Management Agency said the amount of debris left behind across the state is equivalent to the size of a football field and 1 mile high. If you'd like to volunteer to help with the recovery, officials are also extending the hours of the Volunteer Resource Center through Memorial Day. They will be open at 6 a.m. till 7 p.m. For information, call that number on your screen, 205-248-5045.
And among all that debris may be personal information, and that could give scam artists an opportunity to cash in. Credit card information, birth certificates, social security cards, all those important numbers can give the wrong person a way into your bank account. That's why officials are warning if your paperwork was lost during the tornado, you need to take steps right now to protect yourself from identity theft.
Just to be on the safe side, I would put a fraud alert on my account, on my social security number, and my name through all the 3 credit reporting agencies.
And here are some important phone numbers that you may need to help protect yourself from identity theft. Alabama Attorney General Luther Strange says Alabamians can receive a free copy of their credit report annually by calling 1-877-322-8228. Strange also recommends adding an initial security alert to your credit report. Secure your mail if you have been unable to pick it up, and for more information, you can contact the Attorney General's Office of Consumer Protection at 1-800-392-5658. And businesses damaged by the storm can receive help Tuesday night. There will be a special business recovery meeting at the Bryant Conference Center. Local tax, legal, and insurance experts will be on hand, and this starts at 5:30 p.m. Businesses with physical damage and economic injury are encouraged to attend. The Chamber of Commerce of West Alabama says they plan to hold a business recovery meeting every couple of weeks.
Alabama Governor Robert Bentley expressed his sadness over the loss of life in Missouri today. Then he went on to thank key members of the Alabama media, including WVUA, who, according to Bentley, helped save lives here in our state by warning the public. Today in the Capitol building, the governor asked journalists to continue serving by giving out important information about storm recovery. WVUA asked Bentley about the importance of covering Tuscaloosa's healing process.
I may have some disagreements sometimes with the press and with the media, but let me tell you, having a free press is what America's all about. And what y'all have done during this disaster, I really just want to thank you for doing that.
In Bentley's address today, he asked members of the media to continue working on educating storm survivors. He also encouraged us to keep on telling stories about hope. Well, WVUA is partnering with the University of Alabama and Recover Tuscaloosa to help tornado survivors get new shoes. The Walking Company is joining with Naote Footwear to donate 350 pairs of new shoes. A limited number of shoes is available to storm survivors with FEMA registration cards. Those donations will be given out at the Belk Activity Center. That's coming up Wednesday. That's May 25th, 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. For information, call 205-562-3200. Again, you will need a FEMA card, so if you need to register with them, the number 1-800-621-3362.
An update now on the Tuscaloosa police officer that was killed in the line of duty. Alabama state troopers have released the name of the driver involved in the wreck. Officials say 55-year-old Ruth Kittrell was the driver who pulled out in front of Officer Trevor Scott Phillips. The officer was escorting a funeral procession along 35th Street Saturday afternoon when he was struck. Phillips was pronounced dead at the scene. Police Chief Anderson says Phillips was not only a great friend and a valued member of the force, but he also loved life and lived it to the fullest.
He was just a great individual, loved being a police officer, loved riding motorcycles. And just an overall fun guy. He was loved dearly, and he's going to be very sorely missed by the men and women of the Tuscaloosa Police Department.
Phillips was a 10-year veteran of the Tuscaloosa Police Force. According to state troopers, Kittrell did not receive any injuries, and no charges have been filed against her. This wreck remains under investigation. Now, still to come here on WVUA News at 6. Can't live without your cell phone. One man says he believes his cell phone almost ended his life by giving him cancer. We'll have his story next.
And coming up in home team weather, the heat bubble is about to break, and that means cooler temperatures are in the forecast. Also, showers and storms are likely. I'll explain coming up in home team weather. Stay with us.
And later on, one Tide running back is leaving Alabama to pursue another opportunity. John Huddleston has a story later in Alabama's home team sports.
And good evening, everyone. Tomorrow night's Alabama-LSU game has been analyzed over and over and over. And thank goodness the hype is just about over. The Tide and the Tigers will kick off now in less than 25 hours at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Now everybody is discussing the keys to victory, but Nick Saban said earlier this week that this game, like most of them, will come down to who executes the best on the field.
And when you look in games like this, most of the time, things come down to how you execute, you know, what kind of fundamentals you play with, how many mental errors you make, how you take care of the ball, how many turnovers do you make. And I don't think any player needs to feel like they need to do anything different or special. They just need to do their job with tremendous effort, tremendous toughness, and a lot of discipline to execute, so that their particular unit has the best opportunity to be successful in what they're doing, with total respect, you know, for the people that you're playing against, because they're very good for a reason.
Live from the campus of the University of Alabama, it's WVUA-TV's live coverage, the 2011 Homecoming Parade.
Hello there, and welcome to Homecoming 2011. Lynn Brooks with you today alongside the First Lady of Alabama football, Ms. Terry Saban, joining us now for the third year in a row.
It's getting to be a tradition.
It is. And speaking of tradition, You couldn't find a place more steeped in tradition than the University of Alabama, and so evident today with this being homecoming day.
I can't think of a place I would rather be anywhere in the world than right here on this campus under this beautiful sky.
Of course, we're waiting on the homecoming parade, but even before the parade rolls through, so many events happen all around campus. We're going to take you to some video from last night, the big pep rally and bonfire. There you see some Alabama football players were out there. Also, of course, the coach is always out there. The Bama cheerleaders always bring excitement to any event. Eli Gold there.
Nick was actually there. He said it was a wonderful event and very well attended and a lot of spirit. He said it was a good evening.
And he's pretty good at getting people fired up. That's the understatement of the year. But I think
that's true. I think he's putting a lot of pressure on the fans, and they are responding. I'm really proud of the atmosphere that we have in our stadium, and I just watch it every week getting better. And Nick's real pleased with it. He's very happy about it. The players really respond to the crowd.
They sure do. It makes a big difference. And something else they respond to, the bonfire. The video pretty much tells the whole story. The Alabama ROTC was recognized for putting this bonfire together last night. They've been doing this on the quad since back in 1920. Little young fans coming out, some of them for their first game, and nothing to get you more fired up on a chilly fall evening.
It's just part of the tradition. It's one of the things we do.
And now you hear the song,
dear to our hearts.
Yay, Alabama. Director Ken Ozzello, of course. 400 members strong, and started actually as a military band back in 1914. Now here's something you will not see every day. A llama roaming on the loose in the Tuscaloosa County community of Cottondale. WVUA's Travis Leader takes you on a journey to get a closer look at the lost animal.
First time we saw the llama was Friday. It'd be Friday a week ago. We were just out checking out our lands and ran across it, just standing there. Kind of scared us actually a little bit.
And it has stayed here ever since. We first saw the llama as we approached the hill the creature calls home. Soon after the mammal spotted us, it took off into the woods. We asked Jeff Carnes where else the creature may be.
The only places we have found it is either the place we found it originally or a hill it likes to go to, hang out.
After the llama ran away, we hopped into this ATV and went on a search for this elusive creature. We went on a wild ride throughout rural stretches of country. We stepped out near the area where Jeff first saw the animal. We soon spotted some llama tracks, but it led to nowhere. After about an hour of searching, we decided to head back to the original site and head home. But once we started heading back to our vehicle, the llama made a surprise return. The llama looked very malnourished. Carnes says the animal may not have what it needs to survive.
I'm very concerned about it. It's out in the wild. There is water and grass around, but I don't think it's getting the nutrition it's used to. It looks skinny to me.
We only hope the llama will find its owner again. Reporting in Cottondale, Travis Leader, WVUA News.
Carnes told us he plans to contact the West Alabama Humane Society to get help for the llama, and that he hopes the owner of the creature will contact him so there can be a reunion between the llama and his caretaker. We will keep you posted.